Happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas. Just realized I didn't film an intro for this video, so this is part 2 of when good cops stand up to corrupt cops.
On June 5th, 2024, private investigator and ex-cop Mr. Hoffman was conducting surveillance for a workers' compensation case in Hilliard, Florida. The adult subject drove to a local church with minors. Hoffman initially observed from a nearby grocery store parking lot, but moved closer to the church when activities began outside. After being asked to leave the church property, Hoffman complied and returned to the original lot. Despite this, someone from the church called 911, accusing Hoffman of filming children.
What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man?
Hey, we're getting phone calls that you're with binoculars watching kids.
Yeah.
Why?
I'm working.
Working what?
I'm not watching kids.
Okay, what are you doing then?
I'm an investigator.
All right, did you call the sheriff's office to say that?
No.
You're supposed to do that. You got some ID on you, brother? And you're in the middle of the parking lot, not even in a parking space. Okay, you're in the middle of the roadway. Do you have ID on you or not?
Committed a crime?
Anytime that you are a private investigator, do you have a Florida ID on you?
That's my investigator license, sir.
So typically, you're supposed to notify the sheriff's office if you're going to be doing any private investigations whatsoever. But you're also blocking the flow of traffic right here. How long are you going to be here for?
I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. Well, stand by for just a minute. Are you investigating somebody at the church?
I can't discuss that.
901 1001 key. Come over here. 77.
Hey, officer, I'm the pastor over there.
What's up, brother?
So when I pulled up a few minutes ago, he had the left-hand corner of his shade up, and he was filming kids.
Yeah.
So
Hold on.
That's why we got here.
Might want to stay back over there, brother. Go back over there. Huh? You don't have a right to hear anything. You go back over there. I'll talk to you in a minute. Okay? I'll talk to you over here.
Yep.
Tell him to stay over there. He says he's a private investigator. Here's his ID. I didn't get a chance to run him yet.
He doesn't give him a right to film kids.
Oh, I know. 100%. He's supposed to also call the sheriff's office and say that, hey, we're doing this, that, and the other.
So I want him trespassed. I don't want him near it. And if you can put him in jail, lock him up.
If he's not on the property, I can't trespass him.
Well, he was on the property.
He was on the property?
Yeah,
When?
he was right there when I pulled up and filming a kid.
Okay.
So you can hear it. I mean, I saw you filming a kid with your window thing up. You're videoing it from our parking lot. It's against the law. Lock him up. Thank y'all.
All right. Well, hey, let me get your ID if you want to try.
The pastor claimed it was illegal for Mr. Hoffman to film children, but it's generally legal to film in public spaces, including children, where there's no expectation of privacy. Courts, like in State v. Oatman, have upheld that non-obscene filming in public is protected by the First Amendment. While the pastor could ask Hoffman to leave the property, it's unlikely his actions violated any laws since he was surveilling an adult, not specifically filming children.
Yeah.
Find out if we're listed what's a trespass, please.
Yeah. He is to list the trespass. That's against the law.
I'll hold you legally accountable.
It's okay.
What's your name and badge number, sir?
Officer Dan Jones, 1198.
Thank you. I appreciate that, sir.
All right.
Yeah, find out if they want him trespassed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go in there and solicit trespass.
There's some guy. We're trespassing him from the Journey over there. He's basically filming people at the Journey Church from y'all's parking lot. Is a manager available?
Yes.
Mr. Huffman, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
I know you're a private investigator. I see your credentials. But there's two parts to this for me. All right? My grandson's over there. So you see where I'm concerned.
No, I don't.
You don't see a concern that I have a grandson across the street?
Sir, what are you holding in your hands?
Your ID.
It's a state issue ID saying I'm an investigator.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what would that lead you to be being a law enforcement officer? Would that lead
You're
you
investigating
to
something.
Okay. Then why would you have a suspicion that I'm a bad guy?
At this point, I don't.
That's the implication you're making, sir.
At this point, I don't.
Okay.
But as a concerned grandfather, I have a concern.
Absolutely. But I presented you with an ID.
Mm-hmm.
I've identified who I am.
Okay.
I'm not hiding from anything.
Correct.
The credentials I presented you present a certain situation would lead you to believe, okay, this guy's working a case.
Okay. All right. That's all I had to know. That's all you had to say.
That's common sense, I would think.
they said that you had to notify the sheriff's department. So if he didn't notify the sheriff's department, that means he's there illegally. I'm assuming. I don't know. Y'all correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But if he's there illegally, then that's weird, right? Like, regardless, you ain't notified nobody. How I know you're not just looking at kids and using this ID to cover up for it? You know what I mean? That's weird, bro. So maybe that's just me, though.
It's common sense, I would think.
What's this guy's deal?
Filming kids, man. Over there with a video camera filming our kids with VBX. Well, I come over here because I wanted them to understand it happened on our property, not on public property.
Right.
He didn't have our permission to do it. He didn't have permission to be there.
Is he a private investigator?
He's saying he is.
Well, if he is, they're supposed to contact the sheriff's office to let us know.
Yeah.
The deputy claimed private investigators need to notify the sheriff's office before conducting investigations, but there's no legal requirement for this in Florida. Licensed private investigators like Mr. Hoffman are allowed to gather information for their clients. While they must follow the same laws as any private citizen and can't trespass, they can observe and record in public areas. Since the church parking lot was open to the public and Mr. Hoffman left when asked, it's unlikely a court would find he broke any laws.
Yes, sir.
That gentleman's wearing one too?
Should be, yes, sir.
Or you just policy and everybody cameras activated?
Yes, sir.
So he was seen on the property over there. I can't give him a written warning, just a verbal warning for trespass.
Yeah, but you could write him an illegal parking ticket.
As far as the Nixie goes, if they're doing trespassing, I don't think they will, because he's not doing anything there.
No, they haven't complained. They have a complainant. They have to have a complainant in order for you to trespass him from Winn-Dixie, and Winn-Dixie hasn't complained. And he has every right to be here until Winn-Dixie says they don't want him here.
Hey, good. So there's this guy who's filming kids at the Journey Church across the street. He's parked in y'all's parking lot. Apparently he's still filming or looking at them. Y'all want him trespass? Okay. I spoke with the manager of Winn-Dixie.
Unit 43, they definitely want him trespass. They said they don't want anybody on the grounds doing that. Except for you have to get her information.
Deputy, am I being detained?
As of right now, yes, sir, you are. You are being trespassed from the Winn-Dixie.
For suspicion of what crime am I being detained?
As of right now, you were videoing from across the street. That's what our call was about. And now that they want you trespassed, you're being detained.
Who wants to trespass?
Winn-Dixie.
Winn-Dixie wants to trespass. So I'm being detained for trespass.
Currently, yes, sir.
You understand how the law reads the trespass? I must first be given the opportunity to leave the property when told by a proper agent of that property.
Okay.
Was I given that opportunity? Once again, am I being detained?
Once I give you this trespass warning, you'll be able to leave.
Sir, that's a yes or no question. Am I being detained?
Yes, currently being detained.
For suspicion of what crime?
The deputies informed Mr. Hoffman that he was being detained while they issued a trespass warning. However, they did not respond when he asked what crime he was suspected of committing. Generally, officers cannot detain someone without reasonable suspicion of illegal activity. In Florida, trespassing requires either refusing to leave private property after being asked or entering posted property without permission. Since Mr. Hoffman had already left when asked, the officers likely didn't have the legal right to detain him while issuing the warning. A court would probably conclude the detention was unjustified.
Are you deaf, sir?
Okay.
Well, you guys, I tell you, you all earn your reputation nowadays. It's disgusting. You all sit around your departments and wonder why the public feels the way they feel. You all hide behind the words like safety, children. Is there a supervisor on scene?
No, she's not here.
I'd like to have a supervisor on scene. I also like to have business cards from each and every deputy that's in location right now.
Okay. You're welcome to have that, and we can contact the sergeant and see if he's close by and can respond.
I appreciate that, sir. Thank you.
Sarge close by, you want to talk to sergeant?
He probably is.
Sir?
He probably is. You can call him on the radio if he wants to come.
You close by, your presence is being requested by the individual.
Also, for illegal trespass to take place, an agent of this property has to trespass me. I'd like to be afforded the opportunity to speak to them and explain to them probably what lies you told them to get me trespassing this property. Therefore, abusing your authority I believe that's under code US 242.
Mr. Hoffman claims Deputy Jones abused his authority by soliciting a trespass from the Winn-Dixie manager through deception. While it's not illegal for officers to ask property owners to trespass someone, federal law prohibits officers from willfully violating constitutional rights. Mr. Hoffman could argue that the deputy's actions interfered with his First Amendment right to film, though there's no right to be on private property without permission.
Rights under the color of law.
All right. Hey, it works for me. Let me go do it, this guy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all. Yes, sir. Yeah.
May I ask you what you asked them, told them?
I just told them to go out here illegally parked in your parking spot, and yeah, I want to trespass. And they're like, yeah.
And that's all you said?
That's it.
Is your body camera running?
It is.
Okay, thank you.
And when I told him, he's like, got trespass from over there. He's sitting there watching.
Okay.
So.
All I can do is give him a verbal trespass for over there.
Sir, how long does it take to write a trespass warning?
It should be about done.
I hear what you're saying, but you got to look at it as our way. You're illegally parked, you're filming or watching kids across the street. It's weird.
Okay.
Right?
No,
is that
let's
not
take the
weird?
facts. You don't know what I was doing across the street. I'm on private property. I'm not illegally parked on anything. You, sir, have no authority here right now.
The deputy claims Mr. Hoffman is illegally parked, but Hoffman argues that since he's on private property, no laws are being broken. Law enforcement generally can't enforce parking rules on private property unless specific violations occur, like blocking fire lanes. There's no law requiring parking only in marked spots, so it's unlikely a court would deem Hoffman's parking illegal.
Asking them, they giving me authority.
You don't get them. Yeah, you know what? Do you think any business, when a law enforcement officer walks in there and says, hey, we got a guy illegally parked, you want him trespassed? Do you think any business is going to say, no, sir?
But
They bow down to law enforcement. They lick your boots like the uneducated.
Well, I mean, it just sounds like it's completely irrational. Like, I'm talking to you normally, and like you're upset.
I'm upset.
But you're illegally parked in a driving lane.
I am not illegally parked. You have no authority over this private property. These aren't official parking spaces. Perhaps you should educate yourself in the Fourth Amendment and personal property.
And then you're like,
property.
And by 2 or 3 witnesses, they're saying, you're over here watching kids, you're over here
Did you do any investigation?
Well, I'm asking you, but you're acting irrational.
I don't have to answer questions.
See, you're acting irrational. Yeah,
I'm acting irrational because I exercise my rights?
No, I'm trying to investigate it, and you're completely losing your crap.
Questions. Sir, I presented a legal state ID that identifies me as a state licensed investigator.
Okay, so like, if I'm doing my job and somebody asks me something, I'm doing this because X, Y, Z. Like, I don't say, that's weird.
You know why? Because I can't stand law enforcement.
Okay.
You all are nothing but tyrants.
Well, tell us how you really feel.
What is your name, sir?
Officer Dan Jones.
Mr. Jones, you as a person, as a man, as a father, as a husband, as a brother, as all those things, I don't know you, sir.
Sure.
You could be a fantastic gentleman, a good Christian gentleman.
Sure. I am
addressing you as a law enforcement officer.
Fair enough.
But as a law enforcement agent, okay, you are given authority. You are given power. You are protected by a corrupt system. And you right now are abusing that power, whether you believe it, whether you think I'm right or not. Supervisor, I've been detained here over 30 minutes.
You're not detained. You're getting trespass warnings from here, and you're getting trespass warnings from
I am
there.
detained. I'm not free to go. He's had 30 minutes to write a trespass warning, and I'm still here.
Get out of here. You've been trespassed from Winn-Dixie. You've been trespassed from here.
You don't want to hear how my rights were violated?
You've been trespassed from here, and you've been trespassed from there.
Illegally.
You have your chance to leave. Now you're detaining me, so you need to leave.
Yeah, not a problem. Wait, hold up.
After being warned that he was trespassed from both the church and the Winn-Dixie, Mr. Hoffman was allowed to leave without further incident. He received a written trespass warning prohibiting him from returning to the Winn-Dixie for 1 year. Mr. Hoffman filed an internal affairs complaint, but the investigation's results have not yet been released.
Obviously, I was wrong about if that was illegal or not, him not letting the sheriff's department know if he was there. So, hey, dude knew his stuff, though. I'm not going to lie. He was He called out basically everything that they said. Granted, what he was doing was weird, and it's like if you get caught doing something very weird, you might want to explain yourself, you know, and you might want to do that. But he was definitely spot on because the dude definitely went into the Winn-Dixies and said, yeah, he's filming children, this, that, and the third across the street. He definitely said all that. He didn't say nothing about no parking violation, at least from what we saw. So, hey, I still agree though. It's weird, you know. You definitely should have called it, especially anything dealing with children, bro. You definitely should have called the sheriff's department and let them know beforehand. So, but outside of that, see y'all next video, man.